Most people live their entire lives believing money flows to the hardest workers, to the most honest, to the most deserving. They wake up early, they grind, they play by the rules, and they stay broke. Meanwhile, there's a smaller circle of people who understand something you were never taught. Money doesn't follow morality, it follows strategy. It flows to those who understand the invisible architecture of power. Machiavelli knew this 5 centuries ago. The principles he wrote for princes applied directly to wealth, and today, you're going to learn what they've been hiding from you. This isn't motivation, this is illumination. You're not here by accident. You're here because somewhere deep in your mind, you sense there's a game being played above your head. Rules you don't know, moves you can't see. Most people will never watch this video to the end. They'll get uncomfortable and click away. But you're different. You're willing to see the world as it actually is, not as you were told it should be. That alone separates you from 95% of the population. Drop one word in the comments that describes your relationship with money right now. Just one word, no explanation. Principle 1. Silent leverage. Here's what they don't tell you about wealth. The people making real money aren't loud about it. They're not posting their wins. They're not bragging about their strategy. They move in silence because noise creates resistance. Machiavelli wrote that it's better to be feared than loved, but what he really understood was this: power is most effective when it's invisible until it's too late. Look at the wealthiest people you know. Not the influencers, not the people performing wealth, the actual wealthy. They don't announce their investments, they don't reveal their leverage points. They accumulate power in the dark. Why? Because the moment you broadcast your strategy, you invite competition, envy, and interference. You create enemies you don't need. Think about it. When someone tells you they're about to make a big move, what happens? Suddenly, everyone has advice. Suddenly, everyone has doubts to plant in your mind. Suddenly, the universe seems to conspire against that exact plan. This isn't coincidence. This is energetic and strategic interference. The application is simple but brutal. Stop announcing your financial moves. Stop telling people what you're building. Stop seeking validation for your strategy. The sharks in this world don't ask permission. They don't need cheerleaders. They accumulate their position in silence and reveal it only when it's irreversible. Your coworkers don't need to know you're starting a business. Your friends don't need to know you're studying a new skill. Your family doesn't need to know you're changing your financial strategy. Move in the shadows, build in private, strike when you're ready, not before. Here's the warning. This will feel lonely. Silent power always does. You'll want to share your wins. You'll want to tell someone you're finally figuring it out. Resist that urge. The lion doesn't announce when he's hunting. Neither should you. Principle 2. Calculated opacity. Machiavelli understood that the prince must know how to be both fox and lion. The fox recognizes traps. The lion frightens wolves. But there's a deeper layer to this. The fox survives by being unpredictable, by never fully revealing his position. In the game of money, opacity is armor. Here's how this works in the modern world. The people who control capital never show you their full hand. They never reveal their actual financial position. They never tell you their real margins, their real costs, their real leverage. Why? Because the moment you have complete information, you have power over them. Think about negotiations. The person who reveals their maximum budget first loses. The person who shows desperation first loses. The person who exposes their timeline first loses. Opacity preserves negotiating power. Transparency destroys it. This applies to everything. When someone asks what you make, you deflect. When someone asks what you paid for something, you're vague. When someone wants to know your business model, you give them enough to satisfy curiosity, but never enough to replicate or sabotage. You're not lying, you're controlling information flow. There's a difference.
The wealthy have mastered this completely. They have trusts, LLCs, holding companies, layers of legal structures specifically designed to create opacity. Not because they're hiding something illegal, because they understand that privacy is power, that the mystery creates respect, that the unknown is always valued higher than the fully exposed. Here's how you apply this immediately. Stop oversharing about your finances. Stop telling people exactly what you're doing. Start speaking in principles instead of specifics. When someone asks about your income, smile and say, "It's growing." When someone asks about your investments, say you're diversified. Give them nothing they can use against you, nothing they can gossip about, nothing that reduces your strategic advantage. The danger here is that people will call you secretive. They'll say you've changed. They'll accuse you of being shady. Let them. Their need for your transparency is their problem, not yours. The fox doesn't explain himself to the rabbits.
Principle 3. The illusion of fairness. This is where most people lose the game before it even starts. They believe the world operates on fairness, that hard work equals reward, that virtue equals prosperity. Machiavelli destroyed this illusion 500 years ago, but somehow it keeps getting taught to children. Let me be clear, the world is not fair. The market is not fair. Money is not moral. It doesn't care about your effort. It cares about value, leverage, and positioning. The people getting rich understand this at a cellular level. They're not trying to be fair. They're trying to win. They're not asking if something is just. They're asking if it's effective. This doesn't mean they're evil. It means they've accepted reality as it is, not as they wish it to be. Look at any major wealth transfer in history. Someone positioned themselves correctly and took advantage. The tech boom, real estate crashes, market opportunities. The people who won weren't the most moral, they were the most strategic. They saw the opportunity, they had the resources, and they moved without hesitation. Here's what this means for you. Stop waiting for the world to be fair to you. Stop expecting your boss to notice your hard work and reward it. Stop thinking the market will magically compensate you for your virtue. It won't. You have to take what's yours through strategy, positioning, and ruthless execution. This means learning to negotiate aggressively. This means asking for raises you don't think you deserve. This means pricing your services at the high end of the market, even when you feel like an imposter. This means taking opportunities that feel unfair in your favor and not apologizing for it. The uncomfortable truth, every dollar in your pocket came from someone else's pocket. Wealth is transferred, not created from nothing. Someone is always on the losing end of your win. If you can't stomach that reality, you'll stay broke forever. The sooner you accept that business is war by other means, the sooner you start playing to win. The warning. This principle destroys the comfortable morality you were raised with. You were taught to share, to be humble, to wait your turn. Those teachings keep you poor. They were designed to make you compliant, not wealthy. You have to choose. Do you want to be liked, or do you want to be free? Principle 4. Strategic proximity. Machiavelli wrote extensively about alliances, who to trust, who to use, who to eliminate. But the core principle underneath it all is this: you become who you're around, not metaphorically, literally. Your income will average the 5 people you spend the most time with. Your ambitions will shrink or expand based on the rooms you enter. Your possibilities are limited by your proximity to power. Most people are surrounded by broke people with broke mindsets, having broke conversations. They talk about bills, problems, unfairness, bad luck, and why the system is rigged. And here's the thing, they're not entirely wrong, but they're also not getting richer. Complaining is not a wealth strategy. Understanding the game and playing it is. The people making money are in different rooms. They're having different conversations. They talk about deals, opportunities, leverage, market gaps, and strategies. They assume wealth is achievable, and they reverse engineer the path. They're not smarter than you. They're just in different proximity to information and opportunity. Here's the brutal part. You cannot rise by staying loyal to people who are going nowhere. You cannot build wealth while maintaining friendships with people who resent ambition. You cannot transform while surrounded by people invested in you, staying the same.
Strategic proximity requires strategic distance. You have to leave people behind. This doesn't mean you become a cold sociopath. It means you recognize that every hour spent with someone is an investment. Some people are assets. They elevate you, connect you, teach you, challenge you. Some people are liabilities. They drain you, distract you, pull you backward into old patterns. You have to be ruthless about who gets your time. The application is uncomfortable but necessary. Audit your relationships. Who in your life is going somewhere? Who has knowledge you need? Who has access you don't? Spend more time with them. Who in your life is stagnant? Who complains constantly? Who mocks your ambition? Spend less time with them. Create distance. Ghost if necessary. Your financial future is more important than their feelings about you changing. Find rooms you don't belong in yet and figure out how to enter them. Networking events, masterminds, high-end conferences, online communities where serious people discuss serious strategy. The price of admission might feel high. Pay it anyway. One connection in the right room is worth more than 1,000 friends in the wrong one. Here's the dark side. People will notice you're different. They'll say you've changed. They'll accuse you of thinking you're better than them. They're right, you are becoming better, not morally, strategically. And they'll resent you for it because your growth is a mirror showing them their stagnation. Let them talk. You'll cry about it in your paid-off house.
Principle 5. Controlled desperation. There's a paradox at the heart of making money that Machiavelli understood perfectly. You must want it desperately, but you must never appear desperate. The moment someone senses your desperation, they have complete power over you. They can lowball you, they can delay you, they can extract concessions from you. Desperation destroys negotiating power. Think about job interviews. The candidate who needs the job always gets the worst offer. The candidate who has options gets the best offer. Same person, same qualifications, different energy. The market can smell desperation like blood in water, and it will devour you for it. This is why the rich get richer. They negotiate from abundance, even when they're not abundant yet. They walk into rooms acting like they have options, even when they don't. They turn down deals that don't serve them, even when they need money. This isn't arrogance. This is strategic theater. They understand that perceived power is power. You need to learn this immediately. No matter how broke you are right now, you cannot let the world see it. You cannot accept the first offer. You cannot act grateful for scraps. You cannot show up to a negotiation acting like you need this more than they do, even if you do, especially if you do. Here's how this works practically. You're negotiating salary. They offer you a number. It's more than you make now. Every cell in your body wants to say yes immediately. Don't. Pause. Look disappointed. Say you were hoping for more. Let the silence stretch. Make them feel like they might lose you, even if you're bluffing, even if you have no other options. The pause creates doubt in their mind. Doubt creates concessions. You're selling a service. A potential client asks your rate. You tell them. They flinch. They say it's too expensive. Most people immediately lower their price. That's desperation. Instead, you hold firm. You say you understand it's an investment. You let them walk if they need to. Some will, but the ones who stay will pay your full rate because you demonstrated you're not desperate for their business. This principle extends to everything: how you show up, how you dress, how you speak, how you spend money. You must give off the energy of someone who has options, someone who's choosing to be here, not someone who needs to be here. People respect and pay for what they perceive as valuable. Scarcity creates value. Desperation destroys it. The warning: this requires acting. You'll feel like a fraud at first. You'll think you're lying. You're not. You're controlling perception, which is the entire game of power. Every successful person you admire is managing their image strategically. They're all playing a character to some degree. The only difference is they're conscious of it.
Start being conscious of the character you're playing. Make sure that character is powerful, not pitiful. Principle 6. Ruthless prioritization. Machiavelli wrote that the prince must learn to be cruel to be kind. That sounds harsh until you understand what he really meant. Resources are limited, time is limited, energy is limited. If you try to be everything to everyone, you become nothing to anyone. Ruthless prioritization is not optional, it's survival. Most people stay broke because they cannot say no. They cannot disappoint people. They cannot let opportunities pass. They cannot focus on one thing long enough to master it. They're scattered. They're trying to do 10 things and doing all of them poorly. Meanwhile, the people making money have identified their highest leverage activity, and they do that thing obsessively. Everything else gets ignored, delegated, or eliminated. Think about your typical day. How much time do you spend on things that don't move you toward money? How many hours are consumed by obligations that serve other people's agendas? How many distractions do you allow because you're afraid of being rude or missing out? Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that matters. Every hour wasted is an hour you'll never get back. The wealthy are brutal about this. They guard their time like dragons guarding gold. They have assistants filter their emails. They have systems that eliminate low-value decisions. They say no to 99% of opportunities so they can say yes to the 1% that matters. They disappoint people constantly, and they don't lose sleep over it. You need to adopt this mindset immediately. Identify the one activity that will make you the most money. For most people, it's a skill they can monetize. Maybe it's sales, maybe it's a craft, maybe it's content creation. Whatever it is, that activity should consume the majority of your productive hours. Everything else is distraction. This means saying no to friends who want to hang out when you should be working. It means saying no to family obligations that don't serve your goals. It means saying no to your own impulses to scroll, to binge shows, to waste time on activities that feel good but produce nothing. You have to become comfortable with disappointing people, with being called selfish, with being misunderstood. The harsh reality is most of the people in your life benefit from you staying broke. Your broke friends like that you're available to hang out. Your family likes that you're not too busy for their drama. Your employer likes that you're not confident enough to leave. When you start prioritizing your financial freedom, you disrupt all these comfortable dynamics. They will pressure you to go back to who you were. You have to resist. The application is simple, but brutal. Audit your time for 1 week. Write down everything you do. Then ask yourself, did this activity move me toward money or away from it? Anything that didn't move you toward money gets eliminated or minimized. No exceptions, no excuses, no guilt. The danger: this level of focus will make you boring to some people. You'll stop being fun. You'll stop being available. You'll stop fitting in. Good. Broke people have time to be fun. Rich people have time to be free. Choose which one you want to be.
Principle 7. Profitable paranoia. Machiavelli advised the prince to trust no one completely, not because everyone is evil, but because everyone has their own interests. And when those interests conflict with yours, even your closest allies will betray you. This isn't cynicism, this is pattern recognition. The people making money understand this deeply. They operate with profitable paranoia. Here's what that means. You never fully trust a business partner. You get everything in writing. You verify everything independently. You plan for the worst-case scenario in every deal. You assume people will act in their own self-interest, not yours. This doesn't mean you're hostile. It means you're protected. Most people lose money because they're too trusting. They do deals on handshakes. They don't read contracts. They assume good intentions. They think paranoia is negative. Then they get screwed and they can't understand why. The answer is simple. They brought naive trust to a strategic game.
Look at every major financial disaster in your life or in others' lives. Someone trusted when they should have verified. Someone signed something they didn't read. Someone gave someone else control without safeguards. Someone believed a promise that wasn't legally enforceable. Trust killed more financial dreams than malice ever did. The wealthy don't make these mistakes. They have lawyers review everything. They have accountants audit everything. They have advisors challenge everything. They compartmentalize information so no single person can destroy them. They plan exit strategies before they enter partnerships. They're always prepared for betrayal, even from people they love. This sounds exhausting. It is. But you know what's more exhausting? Being broke because someone you trusted robbed you. Recovering from a bad partnership, rebuilding after someone stole your idea, explaining to your family why you lost everything because you didn't protect yourself. Here's how you apply this immediately. Stop doing business on trust alone. Get agreements in writing, even with friends and family, especially with friends and family. Those are the relationships where people feel most comfortable taking advantage because they know you won't retaliate. Have a lawyer you can call. Have an accountant who reviews your deals. Create systems that protect you even if people change. Never give anyone complete access to your finances. Never make yourself dependent on one income stream, one client, one partner. Diversify your dependencies. Build redundancies. Create backup plans for your backup plans. Assume everyone will eventually act in their own self-interest and structure your life so that when they do, you're protected. The warning. People will call you paranoid. They'll say you're negative. They'll accuse you of not trusting them. That's their manipulation talking. Your protection is not up for negotiation. The people who get offended when you protect yourself are often the people you need protection from. Pay attention to that. Principle 8. The long game. Machiavelli understood that power is not seized in a day. It's accumulated over years through patient, strategic moves that compound. The modern obsession with fast money, quick wins, and overnight success is the reason most people stay poor. They're playing checkers. The wealthy are playing chess. They're thinking 20 moves ahead while you're chasing dopamine hits. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Real wealth takes time. Not because the universe demands suffering, because compound effects require time to manifest. A skill practiced for 6 months makes you decent. Practiced for 5 years makes you elite. An investment that grows at 10% doubles in 7 years. Relationships built over a decade create opportunities you can't access in a month. The people getting rich right now started years ago. They planted seeds when no one was watching. They built systems that didn't pay off immediately. They made sacrifices their peers weren't willing to make. They delayed gratification while everyone around them consumed. And now their patience is paying off while everyone else wonders why they're lucky. You're not behind. You're exactly where someone who just woke up should be. But you have to accept that the next 5 years will determine the rest of your life. What you build now will either compound into freedom or compound into deeper frustration. The direction matters more than the speed. This means you stop chasing shiny objects. Stop jumping from opportunity to opportunity. Stop restarting every time something gets hard. You pick one path and you commit to it with religious intensity. You accept that year 1 will suck. Year 2 will be hard. Year 3 you'll see progress. Year 5 you'll see transformation. Year 10 you'll be unrecognizable. The wealthy understand delayed gratification at a level most people can't comprehend. They live below their means while they're building. They reinvest profits instead of celebrating. They turn down immediate pleasures for long-term positioning. They're comfortable being uncomfortable for years because they know the payoff is freedom. Here's your application. Identify the skill or business that will free you. Commit to it for 5 years minimum. Not 5 months, 5 years. Build every day. Improve every week. Stack small wins. Accept that most days will feel like nothing is happening. Trust the compound effect. 10% better every month is 3 times better in a year. 3 times better every year is 59 times better in 5 years. That's not luck. That's math. Stop measuring yourself against people who started before you. Stop getting discouraged because you're not rich yet. You're planting trees. Trees take time. But once they're grown, they produce fruit forever. Broke people want fruit tomorrow. Wealthy people plant orchards. The danger: this is where most people quit, right before the breakthrough, right before the compound effect kicks in. They give up at month 11 of a 12-month journey. They abandon ship right before reaching land. You have to be the one who doesn't quit, not because you're seeing results, but because you committed to seeing it through regardless.
Principle 9. Strategic visibility. Here's where it gets interesting. Earlier I told you to move in silence. Now I'm telling you visibility is power. This isn't a contradiction. This is strategy. Machiavelli knew that the prince must be seen, but only on his terms. You control when to be invisible and when to be seen. Most people are visible at the wrong times and invisible at the right ones. When you're building, you're invisible. When you're accumulating leverage, you're quiet. When you're learning, you're silent. But once you have something valuable, once you've achieved something worth showing, strategic visibility amplifies your power. The key word is strategic. You're not visible all the time. You're visible when it serves you. Think about how the wealthy use visibility. They're not on social media posting their breakfast, but they are visible at the right events, in the right rooms, to the right people. They're not giving interviews about every little thing, but they do control their narrative through calculated appearances. They understand that being unknown limits opportunity, but being overexposed invites attacks. This is the modern game. You need to be visible enough that opportunities find you, but mysterious enough that you maintain leverage. You need people to know you exist, but not know everything about you. You show the highlights, never the full picture. You give them enough to be intrigued, never enough to fully understand. Here's how this applies to you. Once you've built something real, once you have a skill worth buying or a product worth selling, you start strategically showing up. You create content that positions you as valuable. You network in spaces where your ideal clients or partners exist. You make yourself discoverable. But you still guard your privacy. You still maintain opacity about your methods, your margins, your full strategy. Social media is the modern visibility tool. Used correctly, it's a magnet for opportunity. Used incorrectly, it's a narcissistic waste of time. The difference is intention. Are you posting to feed your ego or to attract business? Are you sharing value or seeking validation? Are you building a brand or building a distraction? The wealthy use visibility as bait. They put out thought leadership that establishes authority. They create content that demonstrates expertise. They show results without revealing methods. They attract inbound interest instead of chasing opportunities. This is high-leverage visibility. You create once, it works forever. You sleep while your visibility is recruiting clients, partners, and opportunities. The warning: visibility invites criticism. The moment you become visible, people will attack you. They'll misinterpret you. They'll be jealous. They'll try to tear you down. This is the cost of playing at a higher level. You have to develop thick skin. You have to separate signal from noise. You have to keep moving while people talk, because the alternative is staying invisible and broke.
Principle 10. Ethical flexibility. This is the principle that will make some people close this video. But it's also the principle that separates those who succeed from those who moralize about why they're failing. Machiavelli wrote that the prince must know how to do wrong when necessary. Not because being evil is good, because rigidity is death. The people making money understand that ethics are contextual, not absolute. Before you misunderstand me, listen carefully. This doesn't mean you lie, cheat, and steal. It means you understand that the rules you were taught were designed to keep you compliant, not to make you wealthy. It means you question every moral absolute and ask who benefits from you believing it. It means you're willing to operate in gray areas that make comfortable people uncomfortable. The broke person thinks in black and white. This is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. The wealthy person thinks in outcomes. Does this serve my goals? Does this move me forward? Is this legal? If yes, the morality is secondary. They're not asking if something feels nice. They're asking if it works. Here's an example. You're in a negotiation. The other side lowballs you. The ethical thing, according to what you were taught, is to be honest about your needs and hope they're fair. The strategic thing is to create a competing offer, even if you have to manufacture one to drive up your value. Is that ethical? Debatable. Is it effective? Absolutely. Do wealthy people do it? Constantly. Another example. You're starting a business. You need to project confidence and success to attract clients, but you haven't succeeded yet. Do you admit you're new and struggling, or do you position yourself as an expert and fake it until you make it? The ethical person admits their limitations. The rich person understands that perception is reality and markets confidence regardless of current results. This is uncomfortable because you were raised to believe honesty is always best. But in business, brutal honesty is often just brutal to yourself and your bank account. You have to learn when to be transparent and when to strategically present yourself in the best possible light. There's a word for this, marketing, but it requires ethical flexibility. The application? Stop sabotaging yourself with unnecessary honesty. Stop volunteering your weaknesses in negotiations. Stop underselling yourself because you feel like an imposter. Stop letting outdated moral programming prevent you from using every legal advantage. The game is being played with or without your permission. You can either play to win or play to feel morally superior while you stay broke. This doesn't mean you become a sociopath. It means you develop a more sophisticated relationship with ethics. You create your own code. You decide what lines you won't cross. But you don't outsource your moral framework to people who have no stake in your success. You become the arbiter of your own actions. You live with the consequences. You optimize for outcomes, not for approval from people who aren't paying your bills. The danger, if you're not careful, this principle can corrupt you. You can slide from strategic flexibility to genuine manipulation. You can start justifying increasingly questionable behavior. This is where you need internal boundaries. Decide right now what you absolutely won't do. Write it down. That's your line. Everything else is negotiable based on context and outcome. So here we are. 10 principles that Machiavelli knew, that the wealthy practice, and that most people will never accept. Because accepting them requires admitting that the world you were sold doesn't exist, that fairness is fiction, that power follows rules you were never taught, that money flows to those who understand the game, not those who wish the game was different. You have a choice now. You can close this video and go back to comfortable delusions, back to believing that hard work alone will save you, back to playing by rules that only benefit those who wrote them. Or you can accept these principles, internalize them, apply them, and watch how quickly your financial reality transforms when you finally start playing the actual game. Machiavelli wrote The Prince, knowing most people would hate it, because it revealed what powerful people do, not what they say they do. 500 years later, nothing has changed. The tactics evolved, the technology advanced, but the principles remain. Power recognizes power, strategy respects strategy, and money flows to those who refuse to apologize for wanting it. You're not supposed to know this. You're supposed to stay distracted, stay comfortable, stay broke. But now you know, and knowing changes everything. The question is, what will you do with what you know? Move in silence, build with focus, trust no one completely, play the long game, and never apologize for becoming who you were always meant to be. The prince doesn't ask permission, neither should you.